Firing them off. Let's go.
All right, boys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome the YouTube sensation, the TikTok extraordinaire, Mr. Beers with Tiki. Welcome, Tiki, to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, he's ready to party. Let's go.
I know, right?
What's up, dudes? How goes it?
We're doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm pumped. What is up?
So, what are you drinking tonight? Let's get into the important stuff.
Okay,
What are we drinking?
I actually reviewed this beer on my YouTube, and I had it. Somebody gave it to me again. I was like, "Holy shit! Okay, another one. All right." But it's Voodoo Rangers Imperial IPA. Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, we got a Voodoo Ranger. It's the Captain whatever. It's a Captain something IPA. We got
Captain
in the fridge.
of a sinking ship.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember the name of it. Captain Awesome or something. It's something wild.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
It's not Captain Jack
Okay,
Sparrow.
all right,
Weirdo.
It's the only one I can think of.
Captain Caribbean, his uncle.
So what's up, man? How did you get into drinking beers and don't want to do reviews? I mean, how'd you start? Give us the background.
I mean, well, being Mexican, being surrounded like at parties at such a young age, not that I did it at that very young age, but it's always been a thing with like my uncles and my aunts drinking the beers and all that. And at one point, at such a young age, I just jumped on it. It started off at a family party, beer pong. So yeah, that's pretty much how it started. And well, drinking basic beer and all that, I just found out they started coming out with a lot of craft beers all over the place. I think my first one was like Stone IPA, the Arrogant Bastard. Yep. But yeah, from then on, I just oh yeah, let me try these out. I mean, I wasn't a big fan, but it just hit a little bit quicker. You know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah, and then just the very different flavors. Some like, I guess from starting up from my YouTube, there was I was posting pictures of all the beers that I would drink on my Instagram, and there's that highlight feature on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So from there, I'm like, damn, I should just talk about it, like small clips on YouTube, and that's when the YouTube came about.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's kind of how it works for us too. We're just kind of sitting around drinking beers, like, yeah, why not? We'll talk about it this time, or let's,
right.
I mean, it kind of went hand in hand almost. I mean, it makes you chatty, anyways. Whenever you have a couple beers, you start wanting to talk about them and whatnot. And then we realize we want to try more than one and more than a couple. Then now we're a couple hundred in, and
we're more than a couple hundred in. I don't have
when I came across you guys' channel, I was just like, oh, this is like the perfect setup. I was like, I have to meet these dudes. I'm like, just drinking, like talking about stuff. I mean, I'm not really like big on sports. I don't really know too much about it. Like my coworkers are talking about, Russ going to the Lakers and whatnot. I'm just like, oh, Lakers, man. I'm from LA for sure.
So how long have you had your YouTube channel?
Since last October. Yeah, so it's almost a year, coming up on a year. And yeah, I haven't really been as consistent as I want to be, but I mean, I have been drinking, just not recording. But yeah.
So how often are you releasing right now? Are you doing about one a week?
One a week. My goal is like 2 a week, so Monday and Thursday, but lately it's just been one a week. Yeah.
And is this where are you? How are you selecting your beers? Because that's always the interesting thing for me is how are you selecting those beers? What makes you pick a beer? What makes that? What's that deciding factor?
You know what? Whatever catches my attention first, like the design on it, I'm like, oh, this one looks cool. And at the same time, it's what is it? I guess the design and then the percentage on it. I just go like, all right, I feel like drinking this heavy. I feel like drinking light. It's a little hot. Something I could drink. Probably get like a 4-pack of it and just, because you can't drink all beers. Like, let's say this one. If you have a 4-pack of this, you're looking at some gel time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's always been one of our things too. Is like, what made it jump off the shelf? What's the can art look like? What? And obviously ABV brings in a big deal. What's ABV on that thing?
This one is, I know it's high. Oh, 9%. So hence the comment of doing some gel time.
You know, you can get in trouble with that. So, so when you started this channel October of last year, it sounds like it's around quarantine time. So is that kind of what, sitting around the house? Is it time to?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going out and I was saving a lot of money, so just buying beer from, liquor stores and trying them out. So yeah, I guess that's how it was. And like I said, we weren't going out, so I'm like, I'm drinking at home. Might as well have something to talk about and make some content for the world.
There you go. Absolutely.
So since you started doing this, what are some of your favorite styles that you've discovered? What are some styles you've discovered that you don't really like? What do you like? What's the number one thing that surprised you?
Definitely has to be the hazy IPAs, the West Coast IPAs. Those things are like I said on my channel, I said those are my go-to at every bar. You know what I mean?
And then what about what you don't like?
Ones I don't like might have to be. I mean, there's some of them that I do like, but malt liquor. Some of them are just like that's my least favorite. I'm not gonna go out on and say I hate it, but that's like my least favorite. Like for instance, there's like a one that was drank throughout all like my high school by all the punks and the thrasher dudes was the King's Cobra. You guys know that one?
I hadn't heard of that one.
Nah, we're Mad Dog 40/40 guys down there.
And Mickey's.
Yeah, Mickey's.
And Mickey's.
That one, honestly, that's like the 40 that was, holding it in my hand. It's green being my favorite color. And just like, oh man, this one, and just the taste of that one, that was my malt liquor for sure. And having it in a 40. What are you guys drinking?
We got Old Chub going right now from Oscar Blues. It's it's far away, but it's a Scotch ale, 8%er. Nothing too crazy. It those barrel aged beers can be a lot to kind of take in, a little overbearing or whatever. But this one isn't too bad, especially for an 8%er. I'm kind of enjoying it. You should be able to get this. This is I just picked it random at the store. So we have a craft beer store down the street, but Oscar Blues, I think that's a nationwide distribute. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff from Oscar Blues. Have you seen those down there or over there?
I have not seen Oscar Blues. I think I would have picked one of those. I'm like, Oscar Blues. That sounds cool.
It's got a cool name. It does, and they usually have pretty good can art and whatnot. So that's it. We've had a couple of these throughout the years, but since I was like, man, we've been really focusing in on like our local beers and our Texas beers, that today I made a point to go get something else. I'm all about supporting the locals, supporting local breweries and things like that. But hell, we're stuck in this 20-mile radius. It's like we need to start venturing out. Austin beers, San Antonio beers. Same thing over there. It's a massive state. You can't just stay centralized. You know what I mean? For a small area.
And where are you guys located again?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a buddy in San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's massive. You know what I mean? It's all like every major city has a massive craft beer scene. So it's like they're all different. You know what I mean? So if you head south, there's different beers they're brewing down there. Like up here, I think the big deal right now is what hazies and IPAs, just straight up. Well, I think IPAs are almost dying up here now. Everybody just wants hazies and slushy beers and whatnot. So
yeah,
I don't know.
A lot of those like sours too, like the sour beers. Everyone's just jumping on that boat.
Yeah, see, sours it just depends on how sour it is for me. Like you'll get some that are like you just crammed, 5 crybabies and 10 warheads in your mouth, right? Yeah. If you remember those sour candies. And then you got some that's just kind of subtle. Mm-hmm. It's not overpowering, but it's like having a Sour Patch Kid.
Right.
Get you a little bit, but it's not bad. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm more on the subtle side of things.
Yeah, if it's too sour or whatever, it takes the fun out of drinking. It's almost like work at that point. You know what I mean? Where you're trying to get this done, you don't even want to drink it. But you're just like, screw it. But if I open one, I've only poured out, I think, a couple beers that I've ever opened. But I've had a couple that I'm like, I'm not drinking.
It's been one for me.
I'm not drinking anymore. We had it was live that night on the show or whatever. Like, I'm not drinking any more of this. So
yeah, I think I've had enough sours. I probably had like 3 in the past 5 months, maybe. Yeah, I don't really drink those too much. I mean, I probably should, being a beer channel.
I mean, drink what you want. I tell this to everybody too when they ask us like, what do we drink? It's like, well, we have people that give us beer, they donate beer to the channel, they tell us to go get some beer, a specific beer, to have us review it. We'll do it, But if it's a sixer they paid for or something like that, we'll fight through it. We might not be happy about it, but bad beer is bad beer, right? And also your palate's different, right? You might like sours, you might not like sours, and it's just kind of like you work your way through it, figure out what you want. But you, especially as a beer channel, you definitely want to try an array of beers, go full spectrum, check out everything. But yeah, I mean, on the sours though, I'm getting like one can, and it's a quick review. So
No, yeah, exactly. I'm trying to do like there's all the breweries, they're coming out with a new beer every week. Like one of my favorites is it's right here in Torrance. What is it? Monkish Brewing. Have you guys heard of Monkish Brewing?
Monkish, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and
Yeah, well, that one they have so many like really good hazy IPAs. That's pretty much what they do, and they're coming out with like a new beer every week. And I'm just like, man, buying like a 4-pack from these dudes like all the time. It's crazy. There's too many beers to drink. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's like unlimited content. They're coming out with beers every week. I mean, that's unlimited content. So that's why I jumped on this.
It's always a good thing though. Like these new beers that hit the market, some people go crazy over. So if you can get it, drink it, and throw it out there for the content, I mean, it's good to hit quick. That's for certain. Let me ask you a question. How long have you waited have you ever stayed outside and waited for a brewery to open to get a new release or anything like that?
No, I haven't been that far yet. So my thing is like beer is my favorite beer. And if I have beer in the fridge that I haven't really drank, I'm just gonna go ahead and knock that out first. And if there happens to be a new release, and be like, all right, I'll probably go this Friday. I'm not gonna camp out for the midnight cake release.
Yeah. I'm not trying to dog anybody or make fun of anybody. I just
no, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
People like that stuff. People will line up 2 hours to get into a brewery. I'm just not doing it.
We've got a local brewery here that we like to. They'll make any beer, you name it. Like they've got I think they have a wall in their brewery, and it just has just anything you can think of on it, and then they just grab a dart and just chunk it at it, and whatever it hits, that's what they're making. Yeah. They've made tres leches. They've made a Dunkaroos beer. They've made hot wings, all cheese popcorn tin.
I'll try anything once.
You name pizza beer. They will make anything. And on Fridays is when they release like the big one, and you'll have people they'll stand out there and wait in line a couple hours to get the beer. To go through the line and get the beer because it's just beer to go. Now, the one thing that they will do for everyone standing in line waiting is they do walk around. They pass out free beer to you, so you get line beers. So while you're waiting, they're going to come and they're going to give you a beer or two, just to say, hey, thanks for waiting. We appreciate it. But yeah, and they'll take Fridays off and get there first thing in the morning and wait in line for a couple hours just to get whatever this beer is. And I've drove by it a couple times. I'm like, you know what? I don't want the beer that bad.
I don't know. You just gave me a reason to wait for beer. They give you free beer while you wait for beer.
Yeah, they do. But the problem is you don't know if it's going to be one of those beers where you're just like, yeah, no. Because the thing with them, either it's really good or it's really bad. You don't know.
Beer.
Yeah, and that was awful. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Really bad. Let's just say questionable. Really questionable.
No, I'm going to say really bad. I will tell them that.
Oh my god.
It'd be like a pepperoni and onion beer. All right.
I mean, give it a go. It's probably on the board and they just haven't hit it yet.
They get you with the nostalgia, and it was like I remember seeing the can threw you to Toy Story Pizza Planet, and you know what I mean. They
had the Ninja Turtle one. You got the Ninja Turtle pint glass, and I was like, I'm gonna go get this.
Yeah.
And then I had the beer, and I was like, that's the worst beer I've ever had.
Yeah, it's rough like that. It really is. But they're a hit. They are a hit.
I've seen a lot of can art based off of movies. Today I was scrolling through my feed and I seen one. The cover of Almost Famous.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Movie? Yeah, the chick with the shades. They have that on a can. I'm like, see, that'll catch because people will drink that because of the can art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've got a local one that did a one to an homage to Hot Rod, the movie Hot Rod, and they called it Hot Rod. and it had it had Andy Samberg on the front, but it was like unfocused, so you knew who it was, but you couldn't see clearly. But yeah, we had that one. We've had
there's several. They definitely take the liberty of trying to get you.
There's one local one that does the Gatorade ones, where they put electrolytes in the beer.
It's got
okay.
Great,
right? Electrolytes. So
now that I bring up electrolytes, quick question: what do you guys feel like? How do you guys feel about seltzers, like hard seltzers?
We'll drink them.
I drink them.
He drinks them all the time.
Yeah.
He'll do the low carb. He'll do the keto. You normally do the claws.
I like Claws. I've had Trulies. I haven't had the Coronas yet, and those look good. Coors is a little different tasting. But my favorite is actually from a local brewery. We have a couple local breweries that started making them, and it was for their people. What are they called? Celiac. They got celiac or something like that.
Gluten free.
Gluten free, and it helps with that, or if you have sugar problems or something like that. So yeah, but I like it.
Right. A lot of people are just like, oh, strictly beer. Nope, not doing seltzers. Like fuck that. But
we've had a couple cider episodes. We had one of our listeners buy us each he bought a 6-pack for each of us of ciders, and we each had we had 6 different ciders during the episode. And whew.
I don't deal with beer snobs very well. I don't want to be like, I'm not bashing one thing or another. Like like you said, like seltzers this or whatever. I'll drink Miller Lite all week. It's because I can't drink 12%. 300 calorie with 40 carb beers every night. That ain't gonna work for me. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I gotta start slimming them down. You know what I mean? It's like,
and that's where the seltzers come in. 100 calories, one gram of sugar. Be all right. Some of them even have you said gluten free, and then some of them have the antioxidants, with like vitamin C, which is like, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Equilibrium, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can get drunk and be healthy at the same time.
Yeah. Turns out I'll be all right. I'll live past 70.
Yeah, we've got one local brewery that they like to brew beers that coincide with like being athletic and things like that. So they'll brew some beers that they'll have some electrolytes added to it. There'll be lower ABVs and things like that. A little bit of the higher carb count for the recovery and things like that. But that's kind of like their niche. They have their run club there, and then they have I think they have a volleyball court out there, and they do volleyball night, all kinds of stuff.
IPA.
Trying to get beers for people to be active and drink beers, because that's the thing. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's a local brewery that they do I think like every 2 weeks they do a 5K. They have people do like participate in a 5K around the brewery. Like I guess there's like a circular, like they do like a round trip for a 5K, and afterwards they hook them up with like 2 free beers, and I'm like, dude, that's
our favorite. Cool. We'll run 5Ks for that, and most of the ones around here, you get 2 to 3 free beers, you get a pint glass, and you get a shirt.
And then people just give us their tickets because for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, we always end up with extra beers because people walk up to us and say, "Hey, you guys we're done drinking. Do you want these?" Well, yes, I want these.
Yes,
I'm coming to Dallas, Texas.
I'm telling you, man. And there's a brewery. You throw a rock and you hit a brewery, and most of them, like pre-COVID, were doing 5Ks all the time, and that was the only time you could get me to run. That was the only time. If somebody wasn't chasing me, the only way you get me to run was for beer. And I kind of jogged a little bit, and then I went and had my beers. They had free breakfast and stuff like that. I mean, it was an event. It was awesome.
Free breakfast.
They usually have some pancakes afterwards. Yeah. You go get yourself a couple pancakes and some beer. Dude, it's a great time. They'll have a band playing, things like that. Oktoberfest ones are my favorite.
Yeah, like what you do today? Oh, pancakes and beer, watch the live band.
I don't even say that. I said I ran a 5K. Yeah. What'd you do?
I ran a 5K.
I guess there's certain people that could be saying that today. Oh, I fucking ran a 5K.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So what's on the horizon for you? Like, I know you're saying you're wanting to start do some more, try and get a little bit more active, a little bit more shows. Do you have some new ideas other than just the beer reviews? What does the future hold for Tiki?
Yeah. So originally at the same time when I started the channel, I couldn't really do one of my ideas, which was interview people. Interview people, like random people that I meet at the bar, like people that own restaurants like locally around my area. I wanted to interview them if they love beer, like interview them like why they chose beer, like kind of like how you guys are doing me, like interviewing me about my YouTube. So I wanted to do that, just like interview people. There's like actually a local business that I want to interview, like the boss, the main guy that owns it. It's called the Ray's Barbecue. That he actually does Texas style barbecue, and it's top notch. So he's been rated like 5 stars or whatever you rate, like the top tier of Texas barbecue here in LA. It's crazy, and I would love to interview that guy, but with COVID and all, you can't really be doing that kind of stuff.
It happens.
Yeah.
So I haven't applied it.
So I'll give you a little bit of advice on that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, so you do your show just on YouTube, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. So with you just doing it on YouTube, just one thing you can use, like what we're using right now. If you're just streaming to one place, you can use StreamYard for free.
Really?
So you can reach out to these places, just like how we reached out to you, right? We exchange messages through YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Reach out to them through their social media. Hey, I do a beer podcast. I would love the chance to interview you. We can do it remotely. I'll send you a link just like this. All you have to do is ask.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it's so simple. Like, we've gotten to where we'll go to breweries and we'll just show up and, hey, who's here? We'll tell them what we do. Here's what we would like to do. We just want to have a chance to talk to you guys and promote you guys, give you a little bit extra publicity. Let's just have a conversation. And you would be surprised, especially when we're dealing with COVID and, are we post-COVID yet? Are we getting ready to get locked down again? What's going on?
Hey, Chris.
They're looking for all the advertisement that they can get.
Yeah.
So if they have an opportunity to talk to someone who's going to promote them, they'll talk to you.
They're pretty receptive.
It's easier than you think.
Yeah, like I've had that, like people tell me like, oh, you just got to do this, which I'm all about. I'm like super outgoing. I'll go up to anyone, but like, hey, what's your favorite beers? Go. I don't really drink beer. But you're at a fucking bar. Like, tell me what you drink. Just be aggressive towards him.
Just get crazy.
No, yeah, I got
you. Drinking.
Come up.
What the hell are you drinking? This is my boyfriend's. Fuck him.
But yeah, come up with some outside the box questions too, because that's one thing that I'll do. I'll do a lot of interviews with people and things like that. And I'm not just asking beer questions, or if I'm at a comic book convention, I'm not just asking comic book questions. I'm coming at you with some weird stuff. One of my big questions I asked this last time is pie or cake. Everybody's got an opinion on pie or cake.
I'm sorry, pirate cake?
Pie or cake. What's your favorite?
I'm like, pirate cake.
Or
like,
what are your thoughts on pirate cake?
From now on, it's going to be pirate cake.
But yeah, ask them some off-the-wall questions and things like that. And I always lead off with that because it loosens them up some. It gets them out of that, okay, this isn't going to be your typical boring interview where they're going to ask me the same questions every time. No, I'm coming in hot. I want to know pie or cake.
Yeah.
Not pirate cake.
I do photography as well. I do photography like on the sides sometimes here and there. And I've had a lot of clients tell me like, oh yeah, you really loosened us up. I was like really nervous, in the beginning, but I got you. Like I'd probably go up to someone at the bar and be like, have you snorted beer before? And they'll probably be like, what? Okay, now that I got your attention, what's your favorite beer from this bar?
Right.
And always keep that phone and mic on you, man. You never know when you need it. That's for certain.
You never. That's the nice thing. You always have a microphone on you with your phone.
Yeah,
always.
Exactly.
And you'd be surprised about the quality of audio and video you'll get from that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, like I said, he was saying earlier, StreamYard is definitely one of our. That's what we use when we stream, and especially if you're just using one destination and keeping it, like I think to a certain amount, it's like seriously free.
It's free.
They just want you to use it, because then once you use it, you'll love it. But that's if you want to go live. I mean, you can also record, but it definitely helps, especially for people who are remote. We do another podcast where there's 4 of us in 4 different locations, and we're all together doing roundtable talks about stuff. So, but
okay. Yeah. What's that other podcast you guys are talking about?
We got like 45 of them, man. I threw one out there. It's Team Having Fun. But yeah, like, dude, we've got Part-Time Nerd, Team Having Fun.
Let's do a podcast on and off the field. Strikeout beer.
you got my email, so go ahead and send me those, the list of those, and I'll be sure to take a listen. Why not, man?
But I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's crazy. So, with you being on YouTube, have you ever thought about just locking down the audio and distributing as a podcast, audio only?
You know what? Because of the YouTube community guidelines, I'll be honest. I do want to get monetized on YouTube, get some ad revenue going. But the way I actually am, that's not really me on YouTube. Kind of like I kind of hold back the cursing and whatnot, and that's so I'm like, where can I do that? And then I've seen people on podcasts and just like talking mad crap on there. You know what I mean? So I'll probably jump on a podcast with like some of my buddies of mine, which that's mainly like one of the main reasons I wanted to get on YouTube too. Just talk some shit and drink some beer, record it for some content on the world. And just recently they age restricted some of my videos, or 2 of them. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh man, like this is not gonna happen for me. But then I appealed it, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we just just trying to be careful, I guess.
Quick to hit you for something.
Yeah, we actually just go ahead and mark ours whenever, especially when we're drinking. We're just like, hey, just make it 18 plus, and just it's one of those. Now our shorts and stuff that we do, and what we throw out there, yeah, we try not to age restrict them. But if we're drinking beer, promoting beer, I've had enough with you two, to be honest with you. I love it, and we know how to use it. But man, they lock us down quicker than anything.
Been kicked off there a couple times.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely appeal it, because there's a lot of people talking about exactly what I'm doing, reviewing beers, and which got me thinking. I'm just like, like why are they like age restricting my channel? You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm gonna go ahead and appeal it, because there's other YouTubers that review beers as well. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I went back like a year to their videos, and like without being signed in, being 18 and over, and it played. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna appeal it to see what's up, because this is available, and why not mine? And sure enough, they put it back.
And it would make sense, though, if you think about it. Not everyone is signed into their YouTube account. They might be on their phone where they're not logged in, or they're on another computer they're not logged in. So then they wouldn't be able to access that video right then and there. So yeah, and then what do? Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. So where can everybody find you? So we got the YouTube. We've got which is Beers with Tiki.
There's YouTube right there.
There you go. We've got the TikTok. Where else? On the gram, Twitter, Facebook. Where are you at?
Instagram, Beers with Tiki, all together. Simple. And pretty much, that's pretty much it. Instagram, TikTok, and the YouTube, of course.
Awesome. Guys, go check them out. Thank you so much, Tiki, for joining us, man. We appreciate it. The pleasure's all on this side of the table, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure, guys.
Thanks,
all right,
man.
have a good one.
Take it easy.
Yeah, you too, bye. Peace out, guys.
Yeah. Dude.
Good times.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and let's stop down for this moment. Hi, this is Rapid Dave inviting you to check out the Team Having Fun Podcast Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just Be a Dad Podcast, Strikeout Beer, Let's Do a Podcast, To Be Blunt with Peasy, On and Off the Field, Points Per Perception, Part-Time Nerd, Late Night Beer Review, and Team Having Fun. Like, follow, share, and subscribe.